There are some negative aspects to it. Being a smaller community, a lot of people know each other. So, and there is still stigma towards mental illness. So if a few people know that, oh my gosh, Marilyn has mental illness, she's in the hospital in the psychiatric ward, a lot of people are going to know because people talk in small communities. One person will phone another person, and there's a lot of gossip. So then you can be centered out. That's what I found was, yeah. So I did a lot of, before I actually went to the hospital, I did a lot of hiding.
Right.
It was like, I can do this on my own, I'm good. So there was a lot of hiding behind my mental illness. I would suffer and nobody, I wouldn't let people know.
I think some people don't get help because they don't know what's out there, or they're afraid of the stigma. What will someone think of me if I'm getting mental health help? I think there's a lot of different reasons why people don't get help, and it's been ingrained, I think, to a degree, and I think we're getting better at it as a society, but it's been ingrained that, you know, if you have a mental health issue, then there's something wrong with you. And we need to get over that. We need to realize that, you know, mental health is just as important as physical health.
And over the years, I've met family members, mothers and fathers, and they go, you know, I go to the community and I listen to my friends and they're talking about, oh, my son's doing so well in high school, he's an honor student. Oh, my daughter's in ballet and she's just brilliant and blah, 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 blah. And you're going, I've got 3 kids and they're all mentally ill, and how can I talk about my children, you know? Why do I feel guilty? Why is this burden on me in the community? I mean, they don't understand, the community doesn't understand that not only does that mother need respect, but they need support. So I think we have to reach out the hand, not only as the person seeking help, but I think the community has to reach out the hand to the people that need the support.
Very much so. I've never knew what peace was like until you go through such horror, you know, because it does affect behavior, and you feel ashamed at first, and you feel ostracized from any kind of social setting. You know, when your loved one is not behaving well, you are also ostracized in a way because you're the caregiver, and you're left taking everything. You know, you don't have relief unless they're hospitalized, you know, and even there, the daily visits and the food and everything, you know, was very stressful. But I've learned to accept the illness through education, but the pills had to help and the psychiatrist had to help. And this way I found a new self.
People don't know how to, they're afraid to express themselves. And my opinion is that that is so crucial to people, to your well-being. I mean, you know, the song Express Yourself, I think people need to have the ability to do that, and I think a lot of people are scared to do that because there's a lot of, well, what if I open up? Or there's the stigma of, well, what if people don't accept me, or who am I? You know? And there's I think it's a bigger question.
I've always kind of put myself as broken. And then when speaking with some of the other people today, they said that they felt the same way, like that there's something broken, and that's kind of how society is looked at disabilities and mental health and anything like that is as a broken object. But being able to hear other people say it kind of makes me feel like, okay, I'm not the only person who's going through that, and we were able to talk openly about it, and how we can kind of try to overcome the whole labeling of broken and realize that it's just part of us.
Even in the medical system, people who work for the medical system don't have that privilege that they can be understood, because there's a definite black and white separation between physical illness and mental illness. And until we recognize mental illness as an authentic, genuine, real illness, I don't think that our voices will be heard. I think that we have to work on the stigma of it, and that we have to, if you imagine those of us, like for today, the cafe, those of us that found out about it, were invited or were interviewed to come, were either people who suffered with that mental illness or people who are supporting it, and in my case, I'm both. And you know, there was such passion and such innovation and so many ideas. We have collectively so much knowledge about the illness and what should be done and what could be done. And you feel really positive, like we can do something, we can make an impact. But unless we convince the people on the outside, those that don't have a direct connection, then it's very difficult for us to move forward.